Welcome back, one and all, to part 6 of my Outer Worlds playthrough. Very excited to be back playing this game, keen as a bean, so let's get into it! Okay, so I have to go back to the botanical laboratories. Let's give the guy back his book and then we can go talk to Adelaide, if that works. Oh, except for he's not there anymore. Thomas. Thomas?
I know, I'm trying to think.
Everybody keeps staring at me. It's not my fault the power's dead.
Today's your lucky day.
No kidding. Really? Well, which one?
The elusive part 3. Someone stashed it away inside the old geothermal plant.
The geothermal plant? Now that is just incredible. You really went exploring down there? Adelaide always told us it was swarming with hostile mechanicals. That's a complete set. All 3 parts. I'm gonna be the greatest engineer Halcyon's ever seen. Aside from you, Ms. Parvati. I swear, I'll do you proud.
I'm glad we could help, Thomas.
I've been saving something for you. Just a little contraption I found. Should fit right into your outfit.
I should go. Huh. I mean, that's interesting that Adelaide knew about the mechanicals.
That's the thing about growing old. Your eyes start to fail. Elsewise, I would have seen you for the snake that you are, chopped you into pieces and roasted you on a spit. This is all you're doing. Cutting off my power, killing off my garden. Without refrigeration, my food will spoil, and my flock will starve. I want to ask you this in private, away from the eyes of my flock, so they do not see me lose my temper. Tell me, why did you do it?
Reed needs his people back.
You want my flock wasting their lives in that cannery? Fine. Go and talk to them. Go talk to Grace and Thomas. Look them in the eye and tell them their life here is over, and the only thing left to do is go back to Edgewater. This is now your responsibility. And you tell Reed Thompson that I will never return to Edgewater. I would rather die among my flowers than live under his management.
You're being unreasonable. Come back to Edgewater.
As long as Reed is still in Edgewater, I will not return. Those are my terms.
What happened to you, Adelaide? All this anger had to come from somewhere.
My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. That's as much of the story as you need to hear.
I'm willing to deal with Reed for you.
You offering to cross Reed off, huh? This some sort of twisted reparation for what you've done? Or you just looking for a chance to sow some chaos? Kill Reed if you must, or talk him into leaving if you can. He and I are not sharing the same four walls together.
Reed isn't just going to leave his post. I'll need some help convincing him.
Tell Reed that I can make his people healthy again. I can end their plague. Start a new garden right in the cannery. 3 square meals for every man and woman in Edgewater. Tell him how I've made the Vale bloom again. The soil has whispered its secrets to me, and I alone know how to breathe life back into the earth. The secret is human corpses. I've been grinding them up in my fertilizer for years. Marauder, worker, don't matter much to me. The human body is rich with nutrients.
That's... makes sense, but it's also disgusting.
If I were in a better mood, I might be inclined to try and change your mind.
Enough talk. See, I definitely think... I mean, actually, now that she just explained her secret, I don't really know what I think about who would be the better leader. Initially, I was thinking Adelaide,
Okay.
because she obviously cares for the people, and for people who don't really seem to have a place in the Spacer community, family, whatever it's called. And I can understand how important that is. Jeez.
Sorry. I'm just trying to figure out what to do is all.
You won't survive without power. It's time to go back to Edgewater.
I've been thinking about going back. I'm not much use to anybody here. I get sick thinking about working at the cannery. I can't do that again.
So don't work at the cannery. You wanted to be an engineer.
You know something? I think you're right. The town could use another engineer, and I'm on my way to becoming one. I could do a lot of good in Edgewater. Maybe even keep a garage of my own with a little workbench and my very own toolbox. It's just... Adelaide's never gonna forgive me. Not in 100 years. I go crawling back to my old life in Edgewater, and I'm as good as dead to her.
Why is that?
Adelaide hates Edgewater, hates everything Edgewater stands for, hates what that town does to people, what it did to her. We're the nearest she's got to kin. We go back to Edgewater, we may as well have stuck a knife in her heart.
Stay put. I'm going to try to talk Reed into stepping down.
You know where to find me.
I should go. I'm assuming Grace will be the same.
I don't know what you did to talk some sense into Zoe, but I appreciate it.
There's nothing left for you here. It's time to go back to Edgewater.
The matter's been weighing on me. Zoe came back, but I couldn't keep her from slipping out in the first place. Who's to say I could keep marauders from slipping in? I don't see us lasting more than a couple of weeks out here. I'm loath to admit it. We're gonna have to make our peace with Topson and hope he takes us back. Listen, we go back to Reed, hat in hand, begging for our old jobs back. Well, Adelaide's not gonna forgive us. She never talked to us again.
Thomas told me the same thing.
Edgewater's not just a town to Adelaide. It's a symbol of everything that's wrong with this colony. A big, heartless machine of metal and gears, grinding workers down to dust. We're the closest thing Adelaide's got to a family. We go back to Edgewater, she's gonna feel betrayed.
Don't do anything hasty. I'm going to try to talk Reed into stepping down.
Sure, suit yourself. I'll be here.
See, the more I listen to these guys, the more I get worried. Because even Adelaide, the way she was talking about this group was they were her flock. And now they're talking about how they are kin to her and the closest thing she has to family. And it just, to me, comes across with quite culty vibes. And it makes me question if she would be a good leader. I mean, yes, she clearly has compassion and considers people. But at what cost? Is this community just going to become one big family in quotation marks? Whereas Reed obviously is just a businessman and is running this place like a business, which isn't great, but he's obviously got a bit of a head on his shoulders. In some ways. I mean, obviously letting Adelaide's son die like that was not great. Let's see what happens.
This is a fine day, friend. Power flows through our town like a cool stream of water. I trust Adelaide's people have seen their way to reason. So, when can I expect them back at their posts?
I spoke to Adelaide. She won't come back as long as you're here.
Then we are at an impasse. Stewardship over this town has been entrusted to me by Spacer's Choice. I am not perfect. I have made my share of mistakes. But I have done my best for this town.
Your town's a mess, Reed.
I have been holding this town together with both hands. You can't just expect me to leave. I am a Spacer's Choice man. My father was a Spacer's Choice man. Edgewater may not look like much to some buttoned-up freelancer, but it is my home.
Adelaide's people aren't getting sick with the plague.
I don't believe you. Plague's a reality of life. Best treatment is a good work ethic.
This town doesn't eat anything but salt tuna? Of course you're going to get sick.
You are disparaging our parent company, and it is not appreciated. We are a Spacer's Choice Saltuna cannery. We eat saltuna here, and only saltuna.
I'm pretty sure it's your food that's making you sick. You need Adelaide's garden.
I don't understand. You say Adelaide's growing her own food, but that should not be possible. The soil's gone sour. Company said as much. Our own botanists couldn't grow decent crops for us, so the company got rid of them and shut down the greenhouse.
Adelaide's found a way to grow food. She'll come back if you step down.
You will excuse me for being skeptical. How exactly is Adelaide growing crops in barren soil?
She's growing her crops with a special fertilizer.
And when you say special fertilizer, you mean what exactly?
Corpses, mostly human.
Adelaide has been using dead bodies in her fertilizer? That's... Come to think of it, that's a stroke of brilliance. What a remarkably efficient solution. Recycling Spacer's Choice property long after its date of expiration. I was wondering about those missing bodies in Silas's cemetery.
This town needs Adelaide. She won't come back so long as you're here.
So Adelaide wants me gone. Trade my life for the life of the town. You understand what she's doing. If I leave town, I'm as good as dead. If I stay, Edgewater will die of attrition. Adelaide has discovered some secret cure for the plague, and she is holding my town ransom.
I can't make that decision for you, Reed.
No, I don't expect you to do any such thing. Edgewater is my own responsibility, and you have done quite enough for me already. If Adelaide's found a way to feed her people and cure the plague, then she deserves this office more than I do. I won't stand in her way. My life here is ended. Give me a little time to settle my affairs. I'm sure Adelaide will be glad to see the back of me.
What are your plans?
A couple months ago, I might have put in for a transfer. It's a big colony. Spacer's Choice has other towns. Now, I couldn't show my face in any of them.
Why not?
No such thing as an honorable resignation. Suppose I could find a place outside the walls, or put in for early retirement.
You won't last a day outside the walls, you know.
I don't know. I could see myself lasting a week.
This can't be easy for you.
I have always tried to do right by my town. It has never been easy.
You don't have to do this, you know.
I do. Adelaide's found a cure for the plague, and she knows how to tend to crop. She's what this town needs.
Take care. Wow, that was not how I was expecting this to go at all. I thought telling him that the fertilizer being made out of human corpses would disgust him also and put an end to that deal. But the fact that he has now just so readily stepped down. I mean, cool. No complaints. Oh, hold on. E. Oh, let's go with the base armor rating. Okay. I'm a bit speechless as to how this has worked out. I just want to see if I can find the repair station. And just kind of see what that's all about. Okay, you can also break down weapons, as I've discovered. So then I wonder if it would make more sense. Let's break down all of these. Okay, so let's repair the hunting rifle. And that. Definitely that. I should probably think about my armor too. Might as well repair everything if I can. Okay. Huh. It's these weapons I didn't know that I had. Okay, we can break down armor too. Okay. Alright, I'm just going to leave it at that for the moment. But, you know, look at that. Slowly getting the hang of things.
Look at that. The snake's come back.
I talked Reed into leaving. Come back to Edgewater.
I never thought I'd see the day that Reed Thompson abandoned his post. Suppose we all have a breaking point. Suppose it's time our flock made our way back to Edgewater. We must tend to what remains of the town and carry on with our lives as best we may. You're vexing to me, you know? Injuring us with one hand, helping us with the other. Here, I'm giving you something to leave us be. It's a ransom, you understand, not a reward.
Take care. Yeah, see, I still just get funny vibes from her. I don't know if I'm happy with her being in charge.
Sorry. I'm just trying to figure out what to do is all.
Adelaide tells me she's moving back to Edgewater.
Adelaide said that? Was she sober at the time? I never imagined she'd step foot in Edgewater long as Reed ran the town. Something must have changed in Edgewater. Adelaide's good as family. If she's going back, so are we.
I should go. Yeah, I just am not getting happy vibes right now.
Never liked Reed much. Can't say I'm sorry he's gone.
I'll leave you be. Okay, so I guess that's that. I wonder how it would have gone down the other way around if I had have sent power to the botanical laboratory. And then how that would have gone down with Reed. I'm assuming he still would have left.
Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just so handsome. Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship. Working on a real engine. Belonging to a proper crew. I'm the only decent mechanic Edgewater's got, but every time I think of going back, I get this sinking feeling.
I can understand not wanting to go back. You didn't seem happy in Edgewater.
Well, it's kind of you to say that. And you're right. I wasn't happy. I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves for my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing. And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can do that too. What do you think?
I'd be glad to have you along. Pick a cabin, it's yours.
Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, ma'am. Captain. I can call you Captain now. Ha! I got a captain.
Ah, excellent. That's our vicar friend.
Well, I certainly am looking forward to flying on a ship named the Unreliable. I'll just head upstairs and claim a room.
And so you should be.
Captain, I have detected that Edgewater's power supply is now optimal. I applaud your willingness to invest your time in the local community. What can I do for you, Captain?
I have a power regulator.
Do you know how to install a power regulator?
Yeah, I know what I'm doing.
Outstanding, Captain. Your aptitude for engineering will prove invaluable in the event of another catastrophic engine failure. Our engine room is located behind you. Across the cargo bay, up the ladders.
I'll be back. I mean, this is cool. You sort of get to see a bit of the ship. I wonder if it's worth having a bit of a look around. Okay, that's sealed. Nice. This is the kitchen. I'm getting Serenity vibes right about now.
I find myself marveling at the complex simplicity of the Fibonacci spiral. I'm sure you know what that's like. Something vexing you, Captain?
What's your story?
Nothing too out of the ordinary. Just your run-of-the-mill vicar with a violently enthusiastic disposition.
Violently enthusiastic disposition.
That's what my parents called it. I grew up in a pit of a town much like Edgewater. I was destined to be a laborer like my parents, but I was infected early with a need to solve the equation. My passion didn't sit well with them.
Why were you so passionate about it?
My parents, ironically. They internalized the precepts of scientism like no one I've ever known. They had a pure faith, a faith that brought joy to them regardless of the situation. I envied that. I wanted that peace. I thought if I became a vicar, I could find it. Or at the very least, find out why I lacked it.
But weren't they proud when you became a vicar at least?
They thought I was fighting the plan, should have accepted my lot. Some people pursue the clergy for power, prestige, but that was not me.
What's this plan you keep talking about?
The simple version is this. The force which we call the Grand Architect created the universal equation that underlies and defines everything in the universe. Everything flows from the equation, or in layman's terms, the Grand Plan. Is the Grand Architect a consciousness? A natural force? Did it create the equation on purpose? The answers to these questions don't really matter. The equation, the plan, is all that matters. Contentment is found by accepting one's role in the plan.
If you can't help but follow the plan, then everything you do is part of it, right?
The plan is not one rigid path. There are a variety of multitudes contained within it. Our paths have variance, but we'll end up adhering to it, whether we like it or not. Some choices make the path smoother, some rougher. You can even go outside the lines, but the further outside you go, it's like an unbreakable elastic band. It will only stretch so far before it snaps back. The further it is stretched, the more violent the eventual correction.
I'll think it over and get back to you. Okay, I'm going to assume this is like any game where you've got to get to know your companions, and they all have their story. Okay, I'm just gonna fix the engine. Oh, hello, Parvati. Wait, where did I come from? Where did I go? Where did I come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
What can I do for you, Captain?
I've installed the power regulator.
All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
Hold on, I need to take care of something. Alright, I'm actually going to end this video here before we launch off into space, and who knows what's going to happen after that. I kind of really want to keep playing, but I also have to be aware of the time of night that it is right now. Anyways, that's all stuff no one else needs to worry about. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Definitely stay tuned for more parts. I am enjoying this game so much. So on that note, I'll see you on the flip side. Bye!